In this lesson, we are going to learn about color style. Color style makes your app more visually appealing. There are 4 ways to use color style. First, we can set the color using hex code. Second, we can set the color by color name. Third, we can set the color by using RGBO to specify the red, green, and blue color code and opacity. Fourth, we can set the color by using ARGB, specifying alpha, red, green, blue color code. These color styles precisely pinpoint the color we want. At the end of lesson, you will understand how to use color style and what it is. We will learn 4 ways to represent colors in Flutter. It's more efficient to learn step by step by looking at the screen and the code instead of just explaining the concept. So, let's take a look at the code right away. First, hex color codes. This is the way most designers use hex values to set colors. And this represents the color with sharp and the last 6 or 3 digits. In the case of 6 digits, it is divided into 2 digits and shows the intensity of red, green, and blue over 256 steps. Every 2 digits is a hexadecimal number, so 00 is the darkest and FF is the lightest. The median value is 80. If there are 3 digits, cut them by one number. Again, red, green, and blue representing 16 levels of intensity for each color. 8 or 4 digits can represent it. In this case, the alpha value or transparency is the 2 or 1 digit after each. Fully transparent when 00 or 0, opaque when FF or F. Just for example, if you want to use sharp 6633FF, just add a hex value after 0xFF, which specifies opacity. So it will be 0xFF6633FF. It's done. Is it that easy? Just putting the resulting value in color in the bracket and use it. The second is the color name notation. This method can be seen as an intuitive way of describing colors literally by color name. This method is often used when you want to use a universal color rather than a specific color. If you want to express purple, use colors.purple. If you want to express red, use colors.red, and you're done. Also, you can adjust the transparency here as well. Just putting something like 300, shade 100 after the color shown in the code. By the way, bracket 100 and shade 100 have the same meaning, much easier than hex code. Shall we change shade 100 to 100? Let's try running this code again. As we expected, we got the same results. It's easy, right? The third is the RGBO notation. RGBO stands for red, green, blue, and opacity, respectively. Do you know red, green, and blue for sure? However, you may not be familiar with opacity. In Flutter, opacity is the alpha channel of this color as a double, with 0.0 being transparent and 1.0 being fully opaque. Look at the screen. The color is getting lighter and lighter from left to right. What is the reason? Does anything come to mind? The code has the answer. Look at the code. The opacity gradually decreases to 1.0, 0.6, and 0.1, resulting in lighter colors on the screen. Finally, there is the ARGB notation. Like the RGBO notation method, the ARGB controls the alpha channel instead of opacity. They have in common that Both the opacity property and the alpha channel adjust transparency. The opacity property sets the same opacity for all child elements of the element you set the opacity. However, the alpha channel has the difference that it only sets the transparency on the elements that set the transparency. For example, let's say you have some text inside a red container. If you reduce the opacity at this time, the text will also become transparent. But the alpha channel only makes the container color transparent, excluding the text. A simple but important distinction to keep in mind. Now you have learned almost all the colors used in Flutter. Be aware of the differences and use the correct method when necessary. It's time to finish the lesson on color style. Thank you for watching. See you in the next lesson.